Okay, let's see if this works. Hello YouTube, my kid Dezaras Prime. Back with something Transformers related. But I've got to be quick. I've got about 5.5 minutes left on my memory card, so I've got to be fast. Laptop's fucked. Need to use this camera. Homework. Hashtag homework for the TFYTC, I believe. Why do we collect plastic crack? Why do we complain? I would probably go into great depth about this, but I don't have the time on my camera, so I'll try and keep this as brief as I can. Someone else mentioned it. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. It's one of the Javatron, the bloke from the Javatronia things. Sorry. He mentioned that it takes him back to his childhood and a more innocent part of his childhood. Now, I wasn't really a Transformers fan as a kid. I was more Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles. Watched the films, the first film. I was like, I want to buy these. And so I bought the toys. And it was like one of those things that something I'd missed out on in my childhood. Through no fault of anyone, I just wasn't interested in it at the time. But it was a case of, there's that innocence that Mr. Javatronia said. The innocence there that, sorry, that childlike innocence of, you know, when you're back as a kid playing with toys and all you've got to worry about is where your next fight's coming from or what time tea's ready, stuff like that. Those are the things like that these collecting toys remind me of. And it's good as well because I have a son and I get to share that with him, not so much the Transformers, more the Lego. Speaking of Lego, I've collected a lot of Lego as well recently. And I'm on the list for counselling again. So I'm kind of in up and down stages, and sometimes I just feel so shit that buying a Lego set helps. It's converting that destructive urge into something constructive. I just want to burn the world to ashes, but I don't. I'll build something instead, and that's one of the reasons why I collect Lego Transformers. Similar premise there. You know, there are times when we can't be who we really are. We have to be. We have to put on a mask. We have to put on a brave face for certain things. Work, for example. I work nights. I'm lucky. I can pretty much be myself, but on days I'd have to wear a hell of a mask. Wearing Transformers robots in disguise. There's a disguise element there. Can't always be a robot. They have to be a vehicle or something else. Can't always be that. They need to be a robot. It's a lot of psychological things, really. But yes, and the fun. For all the shit toys I've got, they are, by and large, for the vast majority, fun. They are good, and I enjoy them, and just geeking out and playing with these things. Why do I complain? Well, I am only human. This goes back to the whole counselling thing. I do complain a lot. I'm a very negative person. The doctor said to me that I'm a very negative person, that as opposed to taking a negative and putting a positive spin on it, I do the opposite thing. I will take a positive. Oh, I can write a good story, I can make a good video, I can draw a good picture, but this could be better, this could be better, this could be better, I can't do this. So I'm on opposite end. I'll think of something I'm good at, and then I'll be like, but I can't do this. And yeah, so I am a very negative person. I'm really trying to fix that. There are people, like others have said, that are just negative for the sake of being negative, because it gets them reviews. I don't want that. I don't want fucking depression and dour shit in my videos. I want there to be some light and some fun. And so yeah, I am trying to better that aspect of myself. And I have complained about certain decisions that it's not just Hasbro, because I know some people was all the stuff about, you know, give Hasbro a break. If it wasn't for them, then you wouldn't have any of this. Fair enough, good point. But I have said stuff in the past. Hold my hands up. I'm not gonna say, well, I'm a fucking saint. No, I'm not. Yeah, I did complain about the distribution of Combiner Wars in the UK. As an English guy, I don't have a Menasor. Might go to Kara. I've got Devastator. He's great. I've got three. Yeah, I've got Cyclonus, but no limbs for him. Optimus Prime. The red. Okay, so stuff's deleted. I'm in a new place. I've just had to take my camera to my PC, which is at my son's at the minute, and transfer everything over, and blah 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 blah. Where was I? Complaining, and I was complaining about Combiner Wars, and a couple of reasons why I complain about this stuff. I complain about space as well. I'll get to that in a bit. The Combiner War stuff was baffling to me. It was, because they had all these like great toys that were coming out, and you know, a range of combiners, not just one combiner thrown in every now and then. And you've got Optimus Prime and Silverbolt and most of Superion in the first wave, and then you're supposed to get the last bit of Superion and the rest of Menasor in the second wave. Didn't happen in the UK. Menasor was cancelled. I'll have to go to Kara or somewhere else to get a Menasor. Still plan on doing that. And yeah, it was, I am grateful for everything that we get, but there was just this thing, and I think it goes back to the childhood innocence part as well, because children moan a lot, you know, they want everything, and I think collecting these has that effect on us as adults as well, because as we get in touch with our inner child, those more negative traits seem to come out a bit as well. But the thing that got me was the logical issue, because my brain's always wired, it's always moving and working and stuff like that, and I couldn't get my head around it. At first it seemed like a good strategy, you know, release most of Superion and a piece of Menasor for Wave 1. People will go back for the last piece of Superion and the rest of Menasor, Wave 2. Fantastic, brilliant. But then they cancelled it in the UK, and it just, you know, the distribution problem there. It was, if you're going to do something like release an incomplete combiner, then you need to commit to it, I think. You need to just you can't just be like, oh, well, it didn't sell, because, you know, people are left without a full Superion, in the UK at least. I've got the Wave 1, I've got the Optimus Prime, and I've got Silverbolt, and the 3 aerial bots and Dragstrip. I have none of Menasor. I don't have except for Dragstrip, I don't have a complete Superion. I'm nowhere near a complete Menasor. And I've got, I think, Defensor as well. I could complete that one, I guess. I've just got to pick up Blades. But the only one I've got complete is Devastator, and the only one from like little singular ones that come out, like the normal size ones, is the Optimus Prime one. I haven't got the white Prime module. I didn't want that. I was fine with the red and blue one, the original Wave 1. It looks better, I think. But yeah, it's just the logic of that. If you're going to do something like that, commit to it. If you're not going to commit to that, then you release the full Superion in Wave 1, the full Menasor in Wave 2. Because then if you cancel Wave 2 Menasor, then no one loses out on anything. No one's left with one Stunticon attached to the rest of the aerial bots. It's the logic behind it that sometimes gets to me. Not so much the, well, I wanted it and now I can't have it. There's a little bit of that as well, but there are ways around it. Takara, for example. But yeah, I think complaining is failing to understand as well at times, and failing to make sense of questionable decisions. And I think that's what that situation was with for me. Toys R Us, the UK distribution of the Age of Extinction stuff. Argos get the leaders, Toys R Us get the rest, and then the rest of the shit's distributed everywhere else. I got Hound and Galvatron from the Entertainer. Months too late, but they were worth the wait, by the way. Fantastic toys. Sorry. But it was just the whole distribution idea of that, you know. The good stuff is at Toys R Us. I live about 15-minute train ride from Toys R Us, but they were just distributed so poorly here, and I never got a drift. I think drift's in Toys R Us now, but you know, we're heading towards the last night. But yeah, I think that's where my that's why I complain, because I don't make sense of it, and I'm trying to rationalise it, and it just seems more and more like a complete load of bollocks in my mind, and that's why I'm like that. And yeah, I'm not gonna moan anymore. I've explained why I do it. I'm a negative person by nature, but I'm also a bit wide in the brain. I think too much, overthink things. Space is an issue. That's another thing I complain about. Case in point, last Friday was my birthday, and thanks to anyone on YTC that sent me messages, appreciate that. But space was an issue. But space is one of those things that you don't really think about when you're out there buying. My friend Mike was bringing me some Titans Return stuff for my birthday. Obviously I bought it. I didn't expect him to spend 90 odd quid on it for me. But I got Prime, Hardhead, Skull, Smasher, Slash Cruncher, and Scourge. I don't mind that Scourge is a headmaster. I'm just glad I've got Scourge. But that was the week before my birthday. That was on the 4th of September. He was bringing them up, and I went out to the car boot sale on that morning, and there was this stall that had all these box Transformers, and you know, opened but still boxed and on card and in fantastic condition, and they were going for a steal, man. I picked up like that Generations Bumblebee that's kind of like a cross between Prime Bumblebee and G1 with the Prime body and the G1 head or whatever. And shut up though. I got Universe, whatchamacallit, Inferno. I got United Warpath and United Straxus. They were £4 each. And you go out there and you see all these Transformers. I picked up some more as well, but you go out there and you see these Transformers, and they're awesome Transformers. Again, I was trying to wrap my head around why this guy was selling United Warpath and Straxus for £4 a piece, with card and instructions as well. And you don't think about space. And then you get home and you're like, oh, where am I going to put this now? And most of those Transformers are in a carrier bag in front of Fortress and Metroplex, because I just don't have anywhere to put them. Space is an issue. It's a reason why I stopped doing Transformers as soap, and people want some. That's still in demand slightly, so I might have to get back into that at some point. I wouldn't if I didn't want to. I want to, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm kind of not sure how much time I've got left. I might be rambling now, and I've just lost, and it might stop, and I've just been talking bollocks for nothing. Anyway, I hope that was clear enough for you, and sorry if I got any names wrong earlier. My bad. You might see me next time.